Thanks, Riaz. It was a July for the record books. 2 records, in fact. The most hours of sunshine ever and the driest month ever. Not a single drop of rain fell at YVR in the entire month of July. The month of August started early this morning by breaking up our dry streak as light rain fell 39 minutes after midnight.
July's weather was off the charts in every respect. We had warmer than average temperatures. It was dry for the entire month. Not a drop of rain recorded at YVR. First time ever that's happened. We tied a mark when we had a trace of rain back in 1985. The other record we broke this time was the sunshine hours, more than 400 in the month of July, sunniest month of all time.
Russ LeCate will be by with your full long weekend weather forecast in just a matter of moments. It was a busy night in downtown Vancouver last night. Jay-Z and Justin Timberlake lit up BC Place. 250,000 people packed the beaches of English Bay, where Canada lit up the skies in the celebration of light. We catch up now with our reporter Greg Harper on the beach. Greg, how does it look the morning after?
Jody, now it looks great. A crew of city workers that just left here, and as you can see behind me, now looks pristine. You would never know that there were hundreds of thousands of people here last night, and there was garbage left behind. When we arrived here this morning, there was certainly that, not as bad as years previous. And we bumped into Phil when we arrived here. He's a treasure hunter, says he's been doing it for 30 years. Even he said, you know what, it's not as bad as it used to be, and he had some success this morning.
That's my scoop here. If I find any coins, I'll scoop it out, separates it. I probably found about $20 in change, 1 fake ring, plated, and a lot of garbage.
A crew of about 9 city workers. They also used a sand sifter machine. It meant for a speedy cleanup this morning, and that cleanup started right after the fireworks ended last night. The garbage disposal bins were emptied. The pizza boxes and hamburger wrappers were picked up. They made a quick work. It was Canada that took to the sky last night and wowed the crowd. According to police, once again, the crowd was pretty well behaved. Here's what you thought of the fireworks.
It was awesome, beautiful. As a visitor, yeah, it is great city.
I didn't like it.
Why?
I don't know.
Were you here for the one on Saturday?
We came all the way from Coquitlam, and it wasn't that
good. And there is another treasure hunter that we're just noticing right now that isn't Phil. Maybe he will find some valuables. I actually found $2.50 in coins myself, Jody. By the way, Thailand rounds out this year's competition. That'll be Saturday at 10. Jody?
All right, keep searching for treasures. Greg Harper reporting live for us this morning from English Bay. In other news, a plane crash in Richmond 2 years ago did not have to be deadly. That's the conclusion from the Transportation Safety Board.
This is an accident, and the crew were making their calls based on their best knowledge.
The TSB says the accident was, quote, survivable. The plane took off from YVR bound for Kelowna, but turned back due to a fuel leak, losing control and slamming into Russ Baker Way. 7 passengers survived, but the 2 pilots died from burns. The TSB says they could be alive if Transport Canada had mandated anti-fire measures it has recommended.
Transport Canada agrees with us. However, I can't say why they haven't acted. The board has assessed their response as unsatisfactory.
The leak in question was caused by a loose oil cap not noticed during the pre-flight inspection, but passengers say they saw it and told the crew before takeoff. The leak prompted the pilot to operate one of the engines at reduced power, causing the aircraft to tilt and lose control. The TSB says the pilot could have kept using both engines. A teenager has been arrested for attempted murder in connection with a shooting in Vancouver's Sunset neighborhood. The 18-year-old man reportedly opened fire on another young man Tuesday night, hitting the target's girlfriend by accident. She was treated for minor injuries and released. The suspect was arrested at his home. Investigators believe the shooting followed a dispute between the 2 men. The provincial government is dangling a big carrot in front of teachers in hopes of finding labor peace. The province is willing to give teachers the full right to strike again. Essential service legislation under the Liberal government has prevented that for the last 12 years. The government continues to up the ante in hopes of reaching a 10-year labor deal, an idea teachers have been resistant to. The Education Minister also announced the appointment of a public administrator to the BC Public School Employers Association. The move pushes aside the association's board of directors so the province can negotiate directly with teachers. Talks are scheduled to resume in September. It is 7:06, and we have some sports news to share with you. Look at this. Whitecaps striker Camilo and the MLS All-Stars were taking on Roma last night, and they had their hands full. 68 minutes, some fantastic one-touch passing in the box by Roma. The ball finishes up at the foot of Junior Tallo, who buries it for a 3-0 lead. But in the dying minutes, MLS shows some life, and it is our Camilo Whitecap setting up Omar Gonzalez for the header, but it was too little too late. 3-1 is the final. And one more note for you in sports. In swimming, Victoria's Ryan Cochrane delivered Canada's first podium finish at the World Championships in Barcelona. He claimed bronze in the men's 800 meters.